This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, if you see on the top what it says, amazon.com:/ Amazon basics, right?
Yeah.
So whatever you have as a title, it will take the title as a string as is and it will print. That's it.
Okay. It has to also print the location or something like that, right? Like
Not
anything.
location, like whatever it have in the title, it will get that. So
I
if
see.
your title have only Amazon, then it will take only Amazon. But if it have like amazon.com: Amazon basic, it will take the whole thing.
Okay.
If you go to the home page, click on that Amazon icon here, down on that Amazon icon. Yes, click on here. Then you will see some lot of things there. Put your cursor over there. Then put your cursor on the tab up on that string. Yeah, keep it here, and then you will see what it says. Amazon.com dot spend less smile more. So it will print the whole thing as the title.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. All right, that's fine. And okay, so this one is good. And then also, I think Beauty had the same thing, and because I heard the later on that you were helping her, so I could not print this with the class name also. Same thing, same problem that Beauty had.
Um, okay, so there might be issue with the classroom because in my system it's working. So for some reason it's not working. I tried to fix that, but it's not working in her place in our computer as well. But it's fine. You can just ignore that.
Okay.
For
Okay.
now, just ignore it.
Yeah, and also in Amazon, what I have experienced is most of the elements I could not locate because there wasn't any class or ID.
Yeah.
But I think there are ways that you're gonna talk about today that we can do so, right?
Yes, that is true. So we are
Okay.
going to learn that if you don't have ID, if you don't have a class, if you don't have a name, and if you don't work with a link text or a partial link text, then what will happen? How you will work with that element? So we'll learn that today.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else having any issue with doing this like extra task? Not extra task, like this is for you actually. So if you do more practice, you will know how it works, where is the issue is, and then you'll you also need to fix that issue because these are the very basic thing of the automation. And I I think I will be done this Selenium by today. Then we'll move forward to that like three more things. So that is something new. Okay, so we'll be done with the Selenium. Selenium is very small thing, but the thing is, we just need to know that how this thing, how this function work. Okay, and if this function is not working, then how you will manage to fix it. Okay. Okay, so 7:16. If you don't have any issue, so let's start that. Okay. So you don't have any issue. Let me check one thing very quick. Okay. Let's start from here. Oh, I forgot to start to open this Eclipse. Now it's gonna take some time. So I will give you two website URL today. In that website URL, you can do practice. You can do a lot of things there, and there will be no issue with that. Okay. So there is a reason like we can do practice on that the current page that we have like source demo. We can do that, do our practice on that. We will do that practice because there is some like scenarios we have. We'll do that. we will use that application as well, and we also need to use some other application. I will share the link with you. Okay. Uh, if you remember that we are able to like create a test case document, right? As a manual tester, we have to create a test case document. So in test case document, we have to write test cases. So based on different scenarios, you might need to create multiple test cases, right? So when you are performing testing as like manual tester, that time we call that the document you are creating, that is test case, right? That document you are following, that is test case. Now when you come to that automation side, we don't call that test case. These are not test case, these are test script. Okay, so there is two things here: test case and test script. Test case is for manually testing, and test script is for automation. Got it? So whenever someone says that automation script, not automation script, I mean the test script, actually they are referring to this automation script. And test case means that manual testing. Okay. Okay, so Eclipse is open now, so let's start. Let's start not with this one. I told you to do some practice on this source demo website, and once let me check this source demo website. So, and I also told you to do some validation. So after you log into the system, so we did that one here in the class. So after this, after you log into the system, I told you we did that as a product. When we have a product with that title, we can validate that. We can just read that, and we can validate that product. The validation part I gave you to do that, but I told you how to read any text from the page. So there is a function. It's called get text. And then URL, I told you to validate the URL as well. The title, you cannot do anything because before the login, the title was Swag Labs. Now after the login, the title is saying Swag Labs. So you cannot do the validation here with this title, but you can perform validation by using URL. And also you can perform the validation by the products. So once you log in, are you really logged into the system or not? How you will validate that? Either the page header or by the URL. Okay, so these are the ways that we can validate if it's logged into the system or not. Or let's say that if I click on this add to cart, or let's say if I click on this product, then you see that URL is changing, right? The URL is changing, or if you see that this is another text, you can also verify this text, that after clicking on this product, are you here in this page or not? So you have to perform some kind of validation, and that's why um, in automation, what we do, we don't just click, we don't just type anything, we also do the validation as kind of like manual testing. In manual testing, we have a something like expected column, actual column. Same is like that. So we have a expected in your program. In a string variable, you will store this value as expected page header or product header. Then in case of actual, you will read this one, and once you read this, and then you have to verify that. Okay, now when you verify it from the expected and actual, how will verify it? Are we going to verify like this? Expected header equals to actual header If they are matching, then I will say the test is passed. Okay, I got one answer. Anyone else? 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so almost everyone says no, and one person already gave me the answer. Yes, that is correct. It will not work. So if you understand that why it will not work, then it's fine. Even though if you don't understand, then it is also fine. But if you can say, then it will be great. Can anyone tell me that why this double equal will not work?
So we have to use here for dot equal or dot equals ignore case.
That is correct. So we'll use that function. But why this double equal will not work? This was working fine, right? Before, when we are matching to string, it was working fine. But this time, this is not working.
Is it because it's not stored anywhere in the? It's not already there.
You're breaking, but your answer is like almost there. Yes, Beauty. Do you want to answer that question?
For string validation, so
Mhm.
double equal sign not gonna work.
Yes, that is true. That is also true. Okay. So let me tell you. So string A equals to, let's say, my name. Now in string B equals to your name, then I'll say string C equals to my name again. Okay, so when the computer, when the program runs, what it will do is it will create this variable, then it will create this variable, then when it will try to create this variable, it will check if this value is already saved in any other variable or not. This variable is already saved, right, here inside
Yes.
A. That's why the program will not create another variable with the value. It will just pointing to the C will be pointing to the A. It's simply like this. It will do like this. The programming language is very smart, so it will not do like that. Like it will not create another variable with the same value. It will not do that. Okay, that's why we cannot. We in this case, if we do that, if we do this one, then we can easily perform this operation. There is no problem because both are pointing to the same one, right? There is no problem. Got it? But when you have like when you are reading the data, reading the text from the page, it doesn't know that what kind of text is that. So when you're reading it, then it's checking it here. That's why we cannot use this double equal sign here. We need to use function, that's equals function and equals ignore case function. That's it. So if you can understand that, like why we cannot use this double equals, that is fine. You just need to understand that instead of double equals, what we can use, okay, for the string. Okay, so let's move forward. We did a lot of practice now. So we are here. We are here. Today we're going to use a different website. So let me share that website link with you. This is a, let's go with this website. This will be easiest one. Now, for now, I don't need this book. So let me copy that and paste it in a chat box so that you can use this website. So this is a practice website. You can do anything here. This is not like a real application. So even though if you buy something, it will not charge you anything. I don't think that it's gonna like ask you the credit card or debit card number. It's just like a demo website. Okay. So what we are going to do is, in this website today, we will land on this page, this home page. After that, we'll click on the register. Then we'll click on this male or female, it's up to you. Then insert any name, first name and last name. Then email address. You see this red asterisk, that means that these are mandatory, so you have to do that. So after that, it's Hossein, email address, like anything at gmail.com. Let's give it a good name here. Hossein at gmail.com. It doesn't matter like you are providing the real email address or not, just give any email address here. Okay, password. For password, give any password. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you're done, then we will click on the register button. And if we click on the register button, then we will see something like this. Register. Your registration is completed. So we will verify this text. Okay. So this is one of the test script, test case. Register to the application. Okay. Sign up to that application. Then once you are done, once you read this text and verify that this registration is complete, then you have to click on this continue button. And once you click on the continue button, then you have to verify your email address that you provided. Okay, the email address that you provided, you have to verify here, from here also. Okay, you understood the scenario?
Quick question.
Yes.
I did just verified user ID and password, then we click login for continue. But how can we do the verification for email? Like that will be a specific person's email. I don't have any user ID or password.
The specific person email means that just this email I just provided when I was registering to this website, right?
Like I have the authority just to check is that email is valid or not.
Email is valid means that the email address that you provided is the same email address or not. That's mean that, so I have to mute it. I'm getting echo. Okay. So what I'm saying is, once you click on the continue button, if the program have a bug, if the program have a defect, then it might take you to the different person account. There is a possibility. So once you click on continue, it should take you to your account. The email address that you provided while you are registering to this application, it should show you the same email address on the top here. Reading the text from this page is easy, like in last session that we did that, right? In spec, you see that this is here. It's a class equals to account, and I think the account is unique. Let me check. The account is unique. Class equals to account. There is a 1 of 6, but I have to check it. There's a column on my account, so it's something different. I have to find for class equals to account if I have multiple time or not. So class equals to account, I have another one here. So that's mean I cannot use that. There is 2 times. There's a 1. This is the thing. That's the one that I'm looking for. Then it's not like that. I cannot use that. So we'll learn today how you can use something else like another locator that is xpath, to get the element. Okay, we'll learn today. So we'll do it by step. Okay, so let's do it together. I'm going to create a new class. So this is new class, source, that's Selenium, new class. Okay, so what is the scenario that I'm trying to test here? Anyone?
Registration.
Registration. That is correct. So the thing is, when you have anything like the class you will create, that you will give a name with the scenario name or the test case name. Okay, we'll keep the name as like a scenario name for now. Then we'll change it later. Okay, if we need. Otherwise, just for now, just keep it with the scenario name. So our class name will be register new user, something like that. Okay. Now I also need this public static void main and click on finish. Once you're done, then we'll see something like this. Okay. So remove this part. And as usual, these 3 lines are common. So 4 lines. I will just take this. I'll just copy this and paste it in my new class. So this is common for everyone, right? These 4 lines of code, like system.setProperty. So once you have that, just copy and paste it. You can save your time. Then driver, this one, then driver.get, then driver.manage, maximize, something like that. So until this point, we are done. But here we need to change one thing, that is the URL. We have to change this part. So what is our URL here? This is the URL. Go here, copy the URL, then paste it here. Okay. Are we done?
Not yet, just a second. Okay.
So I just created the class. So we have to copy from something from the old class over here.
Yes, just copy the first 4 lines from the previous class. 4 or 3 lines. If you don't have the maximize, then just copy these 3 lines. It's fine.
Okay.
So we are done, right? So once we are done with these 4 lines of code, just run it and see if you are going to that page or not. The browser open and it's navigating to this website. Yeah, it's working, right? It's working. Now my next task is to click on this register. You see that? Now my next task is to click on this register. So let me open that. It's already open here, right? So let me go here. I'll just click on logout. Then my target is to click on this register. So what I'll do is click on this inspect, then I'll take that cursor on top of the register. Click on the register, then it will say something like this, right? Then I have to find out if this class equals to ICO-register, it's unique or not. Double click on the value, copy it, and paste it here on the search. And how you will search it? When you click here somewhere on this code, this is HTML code. So this is HTML code, and we'll learn more today about this HTML code. Okay. So when you click here, you will not have this search text box. Okay. So first time you will not have that. You just need to do Control and F. Control F means find. So once you do that, then you will see this search bar. Then paste it, the value. Then you'll see, if you see 1 of 1, that means it's unique. Okay. So I will get this one with a class. So let me go back to the Eclipse. So it's a driver dot find element, because I'm going to work with only one element. That's why it's a find element. If you have a multiple, then we'll go for elements. Okay. So element. So it's a by dot, we have a class name. Yep. Now inside this, put a double quotation and then paste the value, semicolon in the end of the line. So what kind of what is the return type of this function?
Sorry, are you asking anything?
Yes, what is the return type of this find element function?
The return type,
Return type.
uh,
Okay, let me show you again.
yes, please.
Dot find element. What is the return type? I know it's very small,
It's
but
a by.org return type is like a list.
no. Find element. Find element.
The web element.
Web element.
Wave element. Wave element is the return type. Okay.
Yes.
So when you are have this option like this list of function, that's mean that you can see it from here. Also, when you are done, now you want to see what is the return type. Then mouse over to that function name. Then you will see this thing, right? So the first thing in that line is a wave element. This is a return type.
Yeah, easily we can see the first one will be the return type on the
Yes,
function.
it is the first I mean that first thing of this line is a wave element, which is a return type. And the input, what is the input is? It's a by argument. So you have to do the by dot class name or any selector. Okay. So this is the input place that you can see, and this is the return type. So you can check it from any other function, is fine. Let me show you the previous things that you did. So when you're calling this function, adding 4 numbers, when you mouse over to this function, then you'll see the first thing is integer, which means that it's returning integer value, and then it's also expecting 4 inputs, 4 integer inputs. Okay, so is there any return type we have without any return? This is return. This is also return. Let me make it void. Okay, now if I go back, when I put this mouse over, you see that this is a void. This function is void. Once you go to that function, then you'll see this is a void. So this is another way that how can you check the function is returning anything or not. Okay. Now let's go back to our class that where we are working. So because this is the return type is web element, that's why we have to keep that in a web element variable like what is that? Register button, right? We can say register button or link because that is a link. Register, let's say it's a button. Okay, and for the first time, you need to import this web element. That's it. So once I'm here, then what I need to do? Do I need to type anything on the register button? What is the next step?
Type user ID and password, then click on button for register.
So this is a register button. What should I do with this button? Should I type? Do I need to read the
Click.
text? Click. So you always have to think as like manual tester. As a manual tester, what you do, follow the same thing, follow the same steps. At first we are here in this page, then we will click on this register button. So when we are clicking as manually, so we have to do the same thing as an automation tester. So we'll click on this register. Simple. Get the web element and do that click and like this. Now let's see that if it is working or not. It clicked. Now we are here in the register page, but how we will validate this one? That after the click, it really took me to that register page. How? Anyone?
Yeah, it did work. So after that, what is the question you asked just right now? How did we will validate this one?
Yes, how we will validate that we are in a register page? Because let's say that developer, when the developer created this page, by mistakenly he she put the link for register for the login, and for the login it's a register. So when you click on the register button, it's taking you to that login page, and when you click on the login page, it's taking you to that register page.
Yes, there is two
So,
options we can validate this one. The register and login, both of them will be get two different like login URL, and second one is by seeing the page header.
okay, so yes, that's correct. So either you can validate that with that URL, because when you see that this is a register, that's when you are in a register page. When you are login, then you'll see the URL is different. It's a login, right? And when you see the login, the header for the login is welcome, please sign in. And for register, it says that register. So we can validate that by using the header or URL. So I already showed that in our last session. Do we need to do that now? Again, we can save our time.
I think I'm okay.
Everyone, are you okay with this? Okay, so I got only two answers. If you're not saying anything, then I will skip this part, the validation part, because the validation part we did that in our last session. Either you have to read the URL by using the get current URL and then validate that with that string that is expected URL, or you can do the page header, reading the text of this header and matching it with the string variable that we'll have. Okay, so I will skip this part for now. Next thing is, when you are in here in the register page, then you have to click on this mail radio button. So we call this radio button, round circle radio button. And there is one thing special about the radio button is you can select either of the option. You cannot select both of them. See that? You cannot select both of them at the same time. So it will be only one option. That is why it's a radio button. So what we need to do, we have to click on it. Let's go back to our here register. Okay. So here I will click on this mail button. So if you want, you can get the female one. So I will show you the same for both of them. So for mail, and this is a radio button. So I will click on this on the top of the radio button, and then I will see this one here. ID equals to gender male, name gender. So I have two common selector, that is ID and name. I will take this gender male of the ID and paste it here. It says that one of two. Now I have to find out, is ID equals to gender male is in two places? Let's check it out. No, it's something like for equals to gender male. So I can use that. It's not ID equals to gender male. It's a for equals to gender male. So I can easily use this selector. What about this one? Name. It's one of seven. So I have to check for if name equals to gender is duplicate or not. One, the first location is nothing is there. In the second location, it's class equals to gender. So still I can use that. In the third location is name equals to gender. So I'm trying to use that. 4 is not the right one. 5th is a class equals to gender. 6 is a name equals to gender. So I cannot use that because you see that name equals to gender. Name equals to gender. So in both of the radio buttons, they have the same name. So I cannot use that. So what I'm going to do is
I want to verify one thing. Yeah, so when you are checking it by pressing Control F, so you have that search bar, and you are copying the class or the ID name to see if it's unique or not. So you type that, it tells you one of one, so it's fine, we can use it. But if it's one of seven or something, so what you are doing, just if you press Enter, keep on pressing Enter, it takes you to the places that it's there. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, so I will keep my cursor here in the text box, and then I'll just
because what happens, like I always said, that I cannot see your search box. I don't know why, but anyway, it's okay. That's fine. If you just tell us, that's fine.
You cannot see that if something is highlighting here.
Yeah, I see the highlight. I see the highlight, but I don't see the what you call that that box that you search in. Is it all the way to the bottom?
Yeah, can you see that the computer is highlighted, right?
Computer is highlighted. I only see the gender is highlighted.
No, on the bottom, if you see, something is highlighted, right?
No, I don't see the bottom. I don't know why. But
I don't
anyway,
think so. You are in a full screen, or you are maybe completely zoomed in. Little bit zoom out to the browser by going to the setting option.
oh yeah, okay, I see it now. Then everything becomes very little. Yeah, that's why it was I wasn't being able to see it, but yeah, I see it now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to keep it all the way to the zoom so that I can see the screen better. So now I can see it after I zoomed out. Yes, thank you.
No problem. So what you can do, either you can keep your cursor here and press enter, so it will show you where is the location you have for this value, or you can use this arrow. You see that after that 7 of 7, I have two arrow, up arrow and down arrow. Just use this arrow as well. You can do that. Same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was almost about to say, if I just click on mouse on up arrow, down arrow, it will be show us where are all of this we are finding. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's start then. So what I'm going to do, I will use this ID. So if you are female and you want to select female, so you have to select this one, ID equals to gender dash female, and I'm going to use this gender dash male. That is ID. Okay, so I'll just copy that. Let's go back here and then create a new web element equals to, that is gender. Gender equals to driver dot find element by dot id, and here inside that id I'll do that gender mail. And then what I can do with that web element, which function I have to use? It's a radio button, and if there is a button, if there is a link, we will always use click. Okay, now I have to run it and see that if it is working or not. Every time you add one line, just run it and see if it is working or not. Okay.
Brother, in the meantime, while it is running, quick request. Your Eclipse is, I think, little bit more zoomed in. Can you just do little zoom out so then we can see the whole page? The right side is cutting out a little bit.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay,
But
thank you.
for now, can you see that it's selected mail?
Yes, it's selected.
Selected mail, so it's working.
Could you please like little bit slow down so we can like the do like just too much fast for me. I think I cannot.
Eclipse, right? Okay, Eclipse zoom out. Is this better?
It's perfect. Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay. Okay. That's fine. Now, what is our next step? Once we are here, we click on this gender on the male, then we have to type our first name in this first name text box, right? How can we do that?
Type.
We have to type it, but first, what we need to do, like, how can we just type it?
I have to select on the first name.
Yes, text box, right? We have to find the element for this text box. So inspect, click on this inspect, and then go back to this text box, click on the top of the text box, and it will show you that highlighted part. Okay, now I have a lot of things here: class, ID, name. So these are the way that we can use it, right? So let's use this ID. I believe this ID is unique. Let's see. So one of three, but I have to check that if ID equals to first name is unique or not. So first of all, it's 4 equals to first name, so it's not ID equals to first name, so I can use that. And here it's ID equals to first name, and third one is 4 equals to first name. So it's still.
I think we can use it.
Yes, ID equals to first name is unique. Nowhere it is ID equals to first name. I have somewhere else, but it is 4 equals to first name, so I can ignore that. So I'll just simply go here and then create web element. So this time I will show you something else, okay? So I'll just try to get that driver dot find element by dot id, and here inside this id I'm just pasting this. Okay, now the thing is, in Selenium, it's not mandatory to create a variable. It's not mandatory, but it's preferred because you might need to use this variable. You might need to use this again. You might need to use this element again. That's why it's better to create a variable of web element. Because if you don't create a variable of web element, then you will have to do this line again, driver.findElement.by.id. Okay, so why I said that? Because once you type these things, after whole line, just put a dot, then you will see all the Selenium functions are here. You see that? So we can use all the functions directly from here, like send is, like this, we can do that. It's a valid thing. Okay, it's a valid thing, but what we'll do is we'll not follow this approach, because in real work you will not follow this approach, so we're not going to do that. We'll keep that in a web element, then we'll use that element, use that variable. Okay. What is that? First name text box. It's a first name text box equals to. Okay. Then I will do first name text box dot. So this is a text box. So that's why what I'll do is I will use this clear function. So if there is any text, it will clear. By default, if there is any text, that it will clear first, then it will type. It will type the value that I want to set. That is this. You got it? Once you are done, do the same thing for the last name. What you can do is just copy these 3 lines and paste it here. Copy these 3 lines and paste it here. Once you paste it, then it will say that duplicate variable. Just change the first name here to the last name. And also, it's not like you also have to change the variable name here. Next 2 lines. And then also the value of that ID, right? So it will not be the same, right? So inspect last name, then you'll see something like that. Just copy the value from the ID, go back to your Eclipse and paste it. And I will give a different thing here. Okay. Let's try. You can continue, and I will just run it and show you if it's working or not. If it is going to select the gender male and typing the first name in Zaki in the first name text box or setting the last name text box. Okay. So you see that it's typing, so it's working. So now we have 3 more text box to do and 1 button to click. Okay, you see that there is 1 button to click. The simplest way is I will just copy and paste. This is an email text box. And the ID will be different, but let me do that email here. Let me do that email here. And for the email, I'll send zakir.hossein@gmail.com. I don't have any email address with this email ID, so don't email me on this. And ID. I have to change the ID, right? So let's go back and see what is the ID of this email address. So class is there, data val is there, data val email is there, record is there, ID, see that ID is there. So I believe this ID is unique. Let me check. It's 1 of 8. It's a newsletter email, so it's fine for me for now. It's name, ID, news. It's ID, but with this ID, I have a newsletter also. It's not ID equals to email. Okay, it's not only ID equals to email, so I still can use it. It's a newsletter email. It's something else. It's a JavaScript. It's a for equals to email. For equals to email. Data val email. For email. So
Yeah, we can use it.
We can use it. But where is the place that we are using? This is the one, yes. ID equals to email, we can use it. Okay, so let's go back to the code and then just paste it here. So email is also done. It's quick, right? Next two thing is password and confirm password. Okay, so we will do that. The password and confirm password. Okay, just copy that again, paste it. Password text box, copy, paste it, paste it. So password text box. Now in the password text box, I will send A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what is the ID for that? We have to check it out. This is the place where we have that. So do I have any ID? I have a class, I have a database, I have, yes, I have an ID. I also have a name. Let's do it the name right now here. Password I have in 9 places, so I can check it. I can check it out. So there is no here. So this is the place that I'm looking for. So I still can use it. Name equals to password. What equals to password for confirm for the password. So yeah, so confirm password. So yeah, I can use that. So what I'll do is I'll just go and put that password instead of I can use the ID, but instead of ID I can also use the name. Okay, what is the question? Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so if I'm going too fast, you can always stop me and I will give you some extra time to complete it. Okay, so it will be better if you do with me. So in that way, you will understand the next topic. Okay, so now it's a confirm password. So it's a confirm password text box. I just use another one, confirm password text box. Why? Okay. And here confirm password text box will be the same password, but this will be the different one, right? So let me go back and check what is this one here. Confirm password, and the name is different. You see that? So I can take the name from here.
Zakir,
Okay.
one short question. Like all the time before searching for anything, uh, like always we have to go for some unique things so that like we can take that one. Yes, I'm going to be copy this one and paste it so that I can search it. Is there is any duplicate verification or not? Right?
Initially, you will look for ID, then name, then class name. Initially, if you find the ID, then look for the ID value, if there is a duplicate or not. Then if you find that the ID have a duplicate, then go for the name. If you have a name with a duplicate, then go for the class name. If you have that duplicate,
I got
then
my answer. Always I have to search for the first ID, then the name, then the
IDs are unique. Usually IDs are unique, but in some cases, in some websites, you will see the IDs are not unique. It will show you some numbers, but that numbers are like dynamic numbers. So every time you refresh the page, or if it is like temporary, not like static, not like every time you see the same ID. So it's better look for something which is stable. Like these IDs are stable; it will not never change. So
got it.
first of all, look for ID, then name, then class name, and after that link text, partial link text. But if there is not a link, like text box, like a button, if there is no link, then what you'll do? Then in that case, we have to work with xpath. So I will come to that point after this one.
Sure. Thank you very much.
No problem. So now the last thing is we have to work with this register button. Okay. Now, what I'll do is, you can do it any element, any web element, but especially I will work on this one because I want to see this is working or not. Okay. First of all, I will see this register button is displaying or not in this page. So can I do that?
Visually, we are saying it is displaying, but we have to also do the coding for on the Selenium.
Don't say visually because you are not going to do that visually. You are not going to validate that visually, right?
Yeah, definitely right.
When you run your automation script, you have to run it, and then your automation script will verify if that button displayed or not.
Sure.
So this is a register button. So I think I already have a register button here somewhere, right? This is a register button. So what I'll do is I'll change this register button, the first one, to the link. Okay, I'll not keep the same one. So register link, this is a register link. Or if you want, you can just keep the register only, it's fine. Okay, so register button equals to driver dot find element by dot, I believe its ID is unique, but let's go back and check it. Okay, so click on inspect, click on register, and then this is the one. So we have a type, we have the ID. So we also have the ID here. Just copy that, paste it in the search, and then you'll see 1 of 1. So we can use it. Okay. So this register button, web element creation is done. Now the next thing is we have to. I was asking you that if the register button displayed or not. Okay. So there is an option, register button. We can do that. We can use that function, register button dot. There is a function called is displayed. So there are 3 functions that I mentioned the last part of our last session, that these 3 functions you can use, and these functions are basically return Boolean value, true or false. If it is displaying, then it will return true. If it is not displaying, then it will return false. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I will check if that button displayed or not. So I will select this function. Now, because it's this function, I'm just calling it, but do I need to do anything to check that it's really displaying or not?
Yeah, definitely we have to test.
Yeah, we have to test it, but yeah, we can run it, but if we run it, it will not tell me anything that it's displayed or not. It will not tell me anything because it's just calling the function. The function is returning the value, but you are not doing anything here to see it.
Yeah, it will be do very quickly and we'll be not able to understand it is like there or not.
No, that is not the right answer. So let's say that this function is returning true. That register button is there in the page and it's returning true. But how you will see that here? Okay, let me run it and then you will get the idea.
Yes, please.
So it's running, it's opening the page, maximize the window, click on the register button, click on the mail, printing them, everything, and then the testing is done. All the steps are done. I will keep it down. So I cannot see anything here. It's returning true, but I'm not able to see anything here in the console. This function,
we
Yes.
need to do the system output thing into like that. We need to make it as a variable and then we need to do it.
Yes, that's right. So you can either create a variable with the boolean data type to store this, or you can just keep that the whole thing in a system out println. Then only you'll be able to see the true or false here. Okay. So if I keep that in a like a string, sorry, boolean value, boolean button displayed, register button displayed, register button displayed equals to this one. So what I can do is I can either print it directly system or println, and it will show me true or false, which is kind of like I don't, if anyone else is running your program, they will not get any idea what is this true or false. They have to go to your code and then see why this is coming true and false. What I can do is I can just simply do if register button displayed, and I will not type this one, because this double equals to true and this is same thing. I saw some of your homework that you are still using this double equals to true. You can do that, but in real work we never use that. Okay, so it's better if you learn in this way. Okay. Now if it is true, then I will say register button is available or displayed. This is the confirmation message. Okay, register button displayed, or else I will say register button did not display. Not displayed. Okay, that's it. So if I run it, then it will tell me, okay, so this button displayed, register button displayed. So it's done. You see that register button display. So it's the message is meaningful now.
Yeah.
Now there is one more function we have, that is let me see, register button dot is, you see that we have three functions with is, that is displayed. Now if that button is enabled or not, are you able to click on that button or not? So that is enable. Okay, so we can also use this function, and it is the same thing. Like this is the same thing, will go like this. If this one is displayed, I will keep that in a variable like this and enabled. That's the only thing I will do. Enabled. If this is enabled, I will say, okay, so this button is enabled. Why is there? Okay. Now I will say this button is displayed. Instead of displayed, I will say enabled. And here, enabled. So now it will check if that button is enabled or not. Okay, so let's try to see if it is working on. Okay, I got an error here. What is the error? I think I'm missing one ending bracket, I believe. Nope, I'm not missing an ending bracket. I have extra ending bracket. No. What is going on here? Main function here, this is main function. Yeah, that is fine. So one is okay. So red underline is here. Okay, semicolon. You see that one semicolon can make your life hell. Like if it is like 1,000 lines of code, then you have to find out where the error is. The
Yeah,
simplest way to get
Eclipse developer should like work on this, and exactly the specific line where is the problem, they should like identify it.
there is a way, there is a shortcut. The way we can, I will show you that. How can you get that? Where your error is? I will show you. Just give me a
Thank
second.
you.
Done. So you see that register button displayed, register button enabled. So this button is already enabled, right? So if you go here, you'll see that this button is displaying. This button, when you keep your cursor, you are able to click on that. That means it's enabled. Okay. And there is another function we cannot use it here, but we can check it in this radio button, that is selected. So we can skip that part for now. Okay. Now the next thing is I will click on this register button. That is the last thing is remaining in this page. Okay. In this page, there is the last thing remaining. That is this one. Register button. Register button dot click. Okay. So once I click on the register button, it will take me to that next page. Okay. So I will run this. That the specified email already exists. So I already registered with this email address. So that's why I'm getting this message. So this is also one kind of validation that you can perform. When you are registering it, you have to check that if the user is already registered or not with that email address. Okay, this is one of the scenario, but right now we are not going to check that one. It's simple. Like once you put all the information with that registered email, click on the register, then this message will show up, and then you have to validate this message. Okay. Okay. So I will change email address here. Email address is 2. Simple. Okay, I need this one. I need this one. I will change this one later. But let me show you here. So it clicked. Now it got registered. So once it's registered, then you have to verify this text. Okay, you have to verify this text. After that, you have to click on this continue button. Okay, so to do the get the continue button, once you open that, just get the inspect here. Okay, otherwise you have to do that again with another email in the another web page. So it's better just whatever is open here, get the text box. Not the text box, I mean that get that web element. Okay, now inspect, continue, and here you see that the type is button, class is the button one, register continue button. So I believe this continue button, the class is unique, the value of the class is unique. So I have to check it, Control F, I found it here, paste it. So it's 1 of 1. So I can easily use this class value. So next part is I have to click on that class value. So let's create another web element, continue button equals to driver dot find element by dot class name, and here in the middle I will say this is the value. The next part is I have to I have to click on it, right? Continue button. Sorry, this is not the one. Continue button. Dot click. So remember, once you are working in this page, this website, every time you have to give a new email address. So because I already ran my code with that email address, now I have to change it. So let's change it to 3. Run it. I will share the code so that if you are not doing it, if you are just watching it, how it's working, that is also fine. You will just try to keep my code side by side, and then you will understand.
Yeah, this time I'm just focusing on watching. I'm not doing it side by side so that I do not want to miss anything.
Okay, no problem. But you see that I'm here in this page. Now, if I go back, it says that it's not able to find it. But the button is there, right? The continue button is there, right?
And why it couldn't find it?
Because this page took some time, took like more than a second, maybe 2 seconds to load this page, right? And before it loads, it was trying to get that web element. Okay, let me clear it. So the Selenium codes, the Java code is very fast. Okay, so if you need to watch how it's working, you need to use the thread.sleep, right? To pause your execution and see what it's doing one by one, right? So every page, when you go to the next page, it might take, in your case, it might take like 1 second. In my case, if I'm using slower internet connection, it might take like 10 seconds. So that's why your Selenium code will not understand that. Your Selenium code will understand once you click on the register button, immediately it will try to look for this continue button. But because this page took some extra time to load, that's why it was not able to find that. Now, how can I do that? How can I put some extra time to load to wait for the Selenium code? There is a way, right?
Yeah, we can trade. We
Dot
can
sleep, trade dot
trade
sleep.
sleep.
Before
Trade sleep. Yeah.
that is right. So before we'll click on this continue button, we'll use thread dot sleep. Thread dot sleep. For how long? Let's say that maximum 5 seconds. 5 seconds is enough, right? And once you type it, you have to do add throws declaration. So it will add something here. We'll come back to that one later. But now I believe it will work. It will click. So before I run it, I have to change my email address to 4. Now let's run it. So the thing is, the thing we did till now, from here you have one interview question here, that is, okay, let me just run it first and then. So it click on the register button. Now it's waiting for 5 seconds. Then it will click on continue button. Did it click? No. Okay. Then it have some issue with that value. But still, it's a valid reason that I told you. It's a valid reason. So let me check why this is not like a inspect. Why it's not getting it? Ah, it's there. It's one upon class name. So I think there is some issue with the class name. By class name, yeah, that is right. That is absolutely right. Class name value is this. Okay, so I believe
I think I have some this problem that when we did the yesterday's the Amazon one. So on that when I do it by myself, so when I just take the first part of this class name, then it will work. Like
First part of you mean that button one only?
no, so with the with register, not the continue that part, not that one. Only the button one register. I don't know,
Part
like the oh, I did that Amazon one. The yesterday's class that you did so do that the take the two ID and then the last one for the login. You need to take the last one. So I did the same thing, and then when I did the last part, then it will work.
Okay, so let me try your way and see if it is working or not. Okay, so let me change my email address again and then run it again. Okay, so the thing that I was talking about, the interview question. So they will sometimes they ask that what is the function that we can use that if the element is showing or not or displaying or not, is if we are able to click or not. So if we can perform something, some operation like click or typing something or not. So what are the functions we can use? So for checking that if element is interactable or not, we can use is enabled. Then we can use is displayed if, to check if that button is displayed or not, or that element is displayed or not. So again, it failed here. So it's not able to get that. So now we have to find something, the way that we can click on this continue button. So I have to click, I have to close all of this because there are like too many things are open here. For everyone, when you are done with this class, make sure that you restart your computer. Otherwise, these things will be running all the time in the background. So it's better. Oh, what I did here. Oh. Okay, I have to pass this something like 6, and then A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Copy that, paste it. Why is that? This is down. 3, 4. A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Register button clicked, and then we have to find this continue button, because that continue button, if there is a problem like this that you are not able to click on that with that class, so what you will do? So in that case, like we have another locator that is called xpath. So we'll find this button with that xpath. Okay, how we will find it? So let me take this part. All these things close. Okay, in the HTML you see everything is closed now, right? Nothing is showing. Now I will do one thing. Let's open this control app. This is already open, so let me close.
How you cleared all of this?
Just minimize that. That you see that the arrow here on the side.
Yes, I do. On the last arrow.
Yeah, you see that the first arrow here. So
Yeah.
if it is open, then it will be like this, the down arrow. That means that whatever is there, it will show everything for this tag. We call this as a tag. So for this tag, you will see everything here. Once you okay, so it's already 8:30. Let's take a break because this is a new topic. So let's take a break.
Sure, no worries. Thank you.
No problem. So let's take a break, and we'll take a break, a short break today. Like, oh no, no, don't take a short break. 8:50. We'll come back at 8:50. Okay. In the
Okay.
meantime, I
Can
will
you
share my
quickly
code.
take a look at my screen before, just quickly?
Yes, yes, I can do that. But before I go, I will share this code so that you can do some practice for everyone. Don't just copy and paste and run it, and don't try to understand in this way. Just try to recreate it. Once you recreate it, you will understand that. But if you try to just understand my code, and it's not going to help you in the future. Okay, so what is that?
Oh, just a second. Hold on. Let me minimize this. Go. Okay. So yeah, everything was fine until I don't know why everything prints, but my first name is not printing. Look, I'm running and you check.
So the problem is you don't have a go back to your code. Now this is first name, clear, last name. Okay. There is no problem with that find element with that value, but it's not typing your name. Okay, it typed, but then in line number 29, you cleared it.
Oh, I see. Okay, so I copied and pasted.
You forget to
Oh,
change line number 29 with the last name.
oh, okay. I see.
That's why it typed, but it also, don't remove it, just change that. Okay. Don't remove it, just change the first with the last. That's it. First name with the last name. That's it. There is 2 T. Just remove 1 T from there.
Okay. Okay, I think it should work now, right?
It should.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, now go ahead, take a break. That's fine.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm making myself as a presenter again, and then let's take a break. So class to start at 8:50.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Any issue till now? Anything that you didn't understand? Sorry, are you talking on it? I'm not able to hear you. I think you are speaking, but I think you are double muted. So check if in your keyboard there is like one mic option. Try to unmute it from there. No, I'm not able to hear you. So you can type your question then. I can't hear you. No. Okay, so in the meantime, you can. Okay, in the meantime, we'll start and you can type your question. Try to join the meeting again. You can do that as well. So it might resolve the issue. Okay, so let's start. So I have to put you on mute because it's I'm getting some noise from your computers. Okay, so let's do it again from this point. I but before I move into that, let me show you. So if we have a driver dot find element, then by dot we have class name we practiced on that. We have an ID, we practiced on that. We have a link text name, partial link text. We practiced on that as well. Today I'm going to show you xpath. This is a very important thing, and this you will get an interview question from here. Okay, so this is very important thing, xpath. There are like two kinds of xpath that we'll learn when you're doing it. So let's try to select this. So it's xpath. Now again it's asking for the string, so we have to put that string value. We have to put a string value here. Okay, so let's try to get this continue button by the xpath. Okay, let's go to this page. Now this is a continue button. If you see here in this page, in the right side in the HTML code, I minimize everything, right? So I have a lot of things. You can just click on that. It will it will show you a lot of things here, but minimize each and everything here. Then you will find two things: HTML, which is a HTML code. This is a page, HTML page, and then you'll see two things: head and body. Okay, in the head page, in the head tag, so we'll use this keyword, that is tag. If you see, this head is inside a less than and greater than sign. This is a tag. This HTML is a tag. This body is a tag. So it doesn't mean that it will be like open and close. It can be also like this, body, and after that there will be something. Okay, so this is also possible. And when there is a tag is done, when there is a line is done, in Java code we put a semicolon, but here they use the same tag name with the forward slash on the front, like same thing. You see that here, the HTML it opened and the very end it closed like this, less than sign, forward slash, HTML, and then greater than sign. So this is the way how the HTML code works. Okay, there is opening and then is a closing. Now we have to go to this continue button. Okay, our target is to go to continue button. So when you click on this inspect and go and click on this continue, it will take you to that continue button directly, right? It's somewhere in that HTML code, so it will take you to that directly. You see that how many codes are there? So it will skip all of them and it will take you to that specific location by using this inspect. But right now I'm not going to use this inspect. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just minimize everything, then here, then this one, and last is one. Okay, now we are going to write our xpath. Okay, so here in the search bar, I don't think that I'll, okay, yes, I can make it bigger. So let's try to find this continue button. First of all, you have to start with a one single slash. Okay, one single slash, and type down the tag. So this is the first tag, so you have to write it by default, HTML. Okay, HTML. Once you type HTML, then this HTML tag is selected. Okay, this HTML, I don't think that you need this forward slash. No, you don't need this forward slash. Initially, you can start with that single slash, but you can also, you should have, I think you can also use that forward slash, but for now, let's start with that HTML. Okay, so once you type this HTML, then you see that HTML is highlighted. HTML is green now, right? So now I have two options. Under the HTML, I have two options, either head or body. Just check that if I put my cursor on the head, nothing is highlighting. But if I am putting my cursor on the body, it's highlighting the whole page, where my continue button is also there, right? So that's why I will not go to the head part, I will go to that body part. So after the HTML, put a forward slash and type body. You see that the body is selected and it's highlighted. Okay, Now next part is you have to click on here in this arrow, and then it will expand and it will show you all the childs of this body. So in this body I have how many childs? Check it carefully. I have this one div, there's one tag, and this is the second one, there's a third one, there's a fourth one, this is the fifth, and this is sixth. So I have total 6 items under this body. Now I have to find out that which section have this continue button. Okay, how will check that? Take your cursor on the each and every block and then see where is your continue button. Just check where is your continue button. Tell me. So I'm putting my cursor here, the first one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth, and sixth. Which one have this continue button? Which one is highlighting this part? Which block of code is highlighting this part? First one, second, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or sixth? Which one?
Fourth.
Fourth. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this 4 is when I keep my cursor here on the 4, at that time this page is highlighting where we have this continue button, right? So I will go here to the div. So which tag I have here? This is everything called tags. Everything you see, no, under the body, everything you see or every block, it's a tag. This div is 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 a tag. This script is a tag. This UL is a tag name. So everything you see, every block starting with a tag. It's called a tag. So first one is HTML is a tag. Then under the HTML we have a 2 tag. One is head and another is body. So we don't have anything in the head, so we have to go to the body. So that's why we just type /body. Then in the body section I have 6 parts. So in the 6th part, I have different tags like div, script, and UL. And the 4th one basically have my continue button. If you see that 4th one is showing me that continue button is highlighting the whole one, right? So I have to go to this 4th part. So how will go that? /div. But the problem is if I just type div, if I just
type div class.
div class, no,
After
no.
div space class.
No, it's not like that. So if I need to go to this div, then I have to type div, and then we have to, if you remember that we have array, so just put that array bracket, and inside the array bracket we have to mention that which div you are going. If you have a multiple div, multiple tag the same name, then you have to mention that which tag you are going. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you have to put it 4 here. Okay, so div 4. So this is the way how we will go to that specific div. You got it?
Got it.
Okay. Now this div have my continue button. So what I'll do is I will expand this div. Now inside the div I have 2 more div. That's means 2 more child I have under this div. So that's why I'll put this /. So which div have this continue button? The first one or second one?
First one.
The first one. That's why after this /, I will type div bracket 1. So for the first div, for the first child, you don't need to mention this one, but if you want to make it sure that you are going to the right place, then you can just put it. This is fine. For the initial, I will prefer if you just use that one also. Okay. Now I'm here in this location. Inside this div, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I have this 5 child. Okay, why I'm not selecting this footer? Because if you see that footer is another one. It's not the same under that one, under this div class. So I'm expanding this and selecting that which one I have this continue button. So first one, second, third, fourth, fifth. So which one have this continue button?
Fifth one.
Fifth one. So that's why after this one I have to put a forward slash, put a div, array bracket, 5, and closing this. Oh no, sorry, there's not a 5. So how many divs we have here? Under this div, how many div child I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Okay.
This is a script. This is not the div, so I will skip that one. So this is div. So this means that 1 div, 2 div, 3 div, and 4 div. I have only 4 div, and I have to go to the 4th div. So I will put not 5, 4, because script is not a div, so it will count as like a different one. So for the script, you have to type a script like this. Because I'm working with the div, so I will select div with 4. Okay. Now inside this div, I have 2 child. One is this one, the first one, and the second one. So which one have this continue button on the first one or second one?
Second one.
Second one. So forward slash div array bracket 2 closing array bracket. So now it's selecting the second one. Now inside this child, how many child I have? Inside this child that is selected now, how many childs I have?
It's initially showing 1 child.
Yes, that is right. So I have only 1 child under this one. If you see the alignment under this, I have only 1. Okay. So that's why after the forward slash, I'll put a div only. That's it. Because you have only 1 div. That's why. Okay. Now expand this one. Now again, I have 2. So which one have this continue button? This is not the continue. This is the one continue button. So why is not showing? I think this is the inside this one. Page title, yeah, inside this one. So yeah,
So you can
because
say second one.
yes, second one have that continue button. So what I'll do, I will go to the last of this div and then type div 2. Now I'm here in this div 2. So inside this div 2, I have 1 div and second div. So which div have this button? Slash. So which div have this button? Anyone? This one or this one?
Second one.
Second one. So I will go to the end of this line and in the bracket I'll put 2. So inside this div, I have input. Okay. So if you see that input, that means you see that button also there. So type is button. So I will go until this input. So in the end of this line, just type forward slash and input. So your destination, your typing of the XPath is done. Okay. So what I'll do, whatever you type here in the search box, just do Control A and do Ctrl C. So select everything from your search box and then copy it. Once you're done, go back to here and paste it here. You see that how long it is? It's very long, right? Okay. Now I will keep that down. Let me keep it as is so that you can do some practice. I'll put that in a comment. And let me make this button here. Continue button xpath. Okay, so that you can understand there is a two different button I tried to work with. Dot click. Okay, dot click. Now I'll try to work on this. So let me try put this thread.sleep in a comment and see that if it is working or not without this thread.sleep. Okay, let's try to run it and see. Oh, it will not work because I didn't change the email address, right? I have to change the email address.
Yeah, make the email address change to 5 to like 15.
I will keep it like in serial so that I will not like once you run this script, then if you find this is duplicate, then you have to run it again. So it's better if you just try to remember that which one you are running. So I did that manually with 6, so that's why I'm running it 7 now.
Well, I don't know why I tried with 6, 7, but it says email
Oh,
has been taken. So that's why I just said to random number.
yeah, that's fine. You can use a random number, but there is a possibility, like in thousands in the one time, like you put the same number, same random number. So that's why I'm trying to avoid that. Okay, you see that? Now I'm able to log into the system, and now it's showing my email address on top. So now what I need to do, I have to read this email address. Right click on it, inspect. So every time you use that, so open that inspect on that page, then it will help you. Like otherwise you have to go back, click on it, and then do that. So it's better if it's already open, just take it from there. It's easy. So you understood the xpath. So this is the way how we write the xpath. This is a lengthy one, but I'll show that what else you can do after getting this one. Okay. Or you can do the validation by yourself, but let me check if there is any issue with that or not. I don't think there is any issue. I think there is be an issue with the class. There will be a class issue. Yes, so I know that there is a class issue. So what you can do is, there is a way you can do that, and we already know if there is a link that how can you get the value of that link, right? How to work with that link. So I will not do this part. So this will be your homework. I will add that in your homework. So after you log into the system, you have to read this and verify that you have logged into the system with that the username that you use to register, the same register, like the same email address. Okay, so I will add that in your homework, no problem. Now let's come back to that the continue button. So this is the continue button, and we created this xpath, and this is a very long xpath. Okay, and in this case, where is that xpath? Here. So what we learned, xpath. We have two kind of xpath. One is absolute xpath, and another is relative xpath.
Zakir bhai, sorry for the interruption. Quick question. Like we know already, find out the X path is lengthy process, and if in case finding out the child number, I can, if like any child number calculating, I got any mistake, and after that, if I put the path over here and run the program, then if couldn't find the actual path, then it will be error, right?
Yes, it will show you, it will tell you that no such element.
Yes,
And it will
it
tell you
might
that,
be happen because finding out the child number is a very lengthy process. So it was
yeah,
like
that's true.
I have to carefully count it.
You have to carefully count it, but most of the time we're not going to use this XPath.
Yeah, yeah,
Most,
we are going to be use the second one, which one you're almost about to show us. Thank you.
okay. So this is called the absolute XPath. This XPath that we created now, it's called absolute XPath. Absolute XPath. So this is the example of absolute XPath, where you have to go from the beginning of the page. You have to start from the beginning of the page until you find your element. Until the point of your element, you have to go through like this. Okay, and this is the most not recommended way to find any element. Okay, we are not going to use that, and this is also a very important thing that important question they might ask me in an interview. So let's try to understand the other one, then I will come to the interview question. Okay, so this is the one, this is called absolute XPath. There is another way we can go directly, and then we can work with this button, this continue button. Okay, let me check if I have okay, let me close it. Okay, so value continue, let me see if I have a continue is 1. Okay, value continue is 1. Okay, so I will use this value equals to continue, this one. Okay, I will use this one, value equals to continue. So it will not show you anything because it's not going to work like that. So I will put that here. So let me create the, this one is absolute XPath, and this one is going to be relative XPath. Okay, and let me just this is A and this is R. Now we have to work on this part. This is a very big thing, so we are not going to use this one, and there is a reason for that, and I will share that reason later after we get this XPath. Okay, so we have to get this one, value equals to continue, copy that and put that here in the search box. You'll see nothing. Okay, you'll see nothing here. What you need to do is you have to keep that in a array bracket. Okay, sorry, it gone. You have to keep that in an array bracket. Go back and keep that in an array bracket. Now it will show you something like this. Okay, but your code will not understand that what you have here. If you just copy that and paste it, it's not going to understand that what you're trying to do. Okay, it's not going to understand. So what we are going to do, we have to do some more work here. Before the value, you have to put a @ sign. Okay, before the value, before that this part, you have to put a @ sign. And before the bracket starts, you have to use 2 and the name of the tag. Can anyone tell me what is the name of the tag of this block? What is the tag name for this block?
Input.
Input.
Yeah.
So if you see that this block of code is starting with this less than sign, and after the less than sign, whatever you see, the first word is the tag name. Okay, tag name of this block of code. So we have to type here input. Now you see that it's highlighting, and it's also says 1 of 1. So this is the another XPath. Okay, this is the another way how we can create XPath. Okay, so let's just copy that and paste it in our code. So once you paste it in our code, your code, you will see something extra here. Okay, so you have a double quotation, and then 2 backward slash, but when we have this here, we don't have this, right? We don't have that 2 backward slash. The reason is, oh no, I'm not going to share the reason right now. It will make you complex, right? So I will share that later. So just copy and paste it inside the double quotation. Make sure that if you put like this, it will be like this. It will be like in a comment. Then you have to put a double quotation in the end and in the beginning. So it's better if you create it first. Okay, then you have to put a backward slash manually like this. So it's better put a double quotation and then paste it inside. It will do that automatically. Okay, you don't need to bother about that. Now I think this is ready. Okay, now let's try it. Oh, it's working. You see that? That XPath is working.
Congratulations to us all.
Oh no. I didn't put that in a comment. Sorry. I didn't put that in a comment. So this relative XPath, sorry, absolute XPath that I created before, it worked, and after
I'm
that it
taking
was
back my congratulations.
okay. So you withdraw that, right? Okay, let's try to run it again and see. You see that?
Oh,
That's why,
email address.
yes, that's why it's better to follow a sequence. I forgot to change it, but even though it's better to follow a sequence. But you see that it's took like 1 extra minute from me. This concept, the expert concept, the locator, is very important. And there is a high possibility of getting a question from here. Oh, it clicked. You see that? My relative XPath that I created now is working. This last XPath that I created is working now.
Yes.
Okay. So if you remember that we try to use let me close this extra one. This is also extra. If you remember that when we tried to use that class and this value, it was not working. So let's try to change this one and see if it is working or not with the class. Okay, class, this one, copy, try to create this one, input, and then at the red sign and paste it. So it's one of one. So let's try to see if this xpath is working with this class. With the class name, it might not work, but with the xpath, as like an xpath, it might work. So we can give it a try. So now it's time for 10. Oh, it's working. You see that? The class value is working now with that xpath. So the basically what I'm saying is for the xpath, you can take any of this the pair which is key and value, but in this case for the HTML we call that as a attribute. Okay, so I'll write it down. So first of all, we need to go for the tag, which tag we have, and after the tag we have to go for the attribute, which attribute you are going to use. So I use this attribute class, which is working. I use this attribute value, which is also working, so I can use any of this. Okay, so this xpath is very important thing, because in some cases you might not have class, you might not have id, you might not have that what is that, you might not have a name. So in that kind of situation you have to create xpath, and that is very important. So in the interview they might ask you, so did you create xpath? Your answer will be yes, because you create that relative xpath, you create that absolute xpath. So they might ask you that. Okay, so before I move into that, I will show you one thing. I will show you one thing here. Hmm. So this continue button is here, and let me get this the full xpath from here. Copy and paste it here. So if you see that this is working, right? Okay. Now let me do one thing. Here's the one. Okay. Copy that. Paste it here. So I have this one here. So this one, if I do this, okay. Copy, paste it. Paste it. Okay, so let's see there if it is still I'm able to get that XPath or not. Copy this, go back and paste it here. Okay, so it's still there because I didn't create that. Okay, this one here. Copy that. Let me do this one. Right click, delete it. Okay. Now, okay. So let's say that there are some changes happen in the web page. Okay, there are some changes happen. Now you are using this absolute XPath. Once you have this absolute XPath, it was working. Now developer got a new requirement, and based on the requirement, developer made some changes. So developer put that things that have like as menu from here to the bottom. Okay, this is the new thing that came. So once you put your old XPath, the absolute XPath, now it's not working. And the reason is because there is some changes in the design. That's why absolute XPath is not working. Because it was before 2, so I believe if I change this one to 1, so it will work. But every time you have to go back and find out what is the problem is, where the developer make the changes, and why it's not working. Every time there is a new change, you have to like fix your XPath. That is a big problem. That's why we don't use absolute XPath. Okay, so this is an interview question. So if which one you prefer, absolute XPath or relative XPath? We prefer relative XPath because if we are using absolute XPath and if there is any change in the design in the page, then there is a high possibility like my absolute XPath will not work. And if you see the relative XPath, which is very simple, like it is going to that specific the which location you have. It doesn't matter that is changing or not. Let me see. Yes, this one. So it doesn't matter that it's changing or not. It will take you to the right place. You see that design got changed, right? Now that is a new design. But if you see my old XPath will work. Take let me take that the last one. You see that my old word XPath, relative XPath is still working. Okay, and that is the reason that we are going to use relative XPath, and this is very important thing for the interview. They'll definitely ask you that what is the difference between absolute and relative XPath, why we are not using that absolute XPath, how to write that relative XPath. So how to write this relative XPath? So it's like this. It's a relative XPath, and you have to go to that. You have to start with the 2 /, then tag name, then you have to use that array bracket. Inside the array bracket, at first you have to use @sign, then you have to use which attribute you are going to use. So every time you see the values, so before the values, the thing you have, it's called attribute. So we have a type attribute, we have a class attribute, we have an on-click attribute, we have a value attribute. So you can choose class, value, type. Maybe like you will find duplicate. So it's better for something go for class. Like you can also use ID name also in the XPath, which is fine. Then we can also use value. Okay, so we can use this xpath at the rate and tag name at the rate, and then attribute name equals to, in the double quotation, put a value. So this is the format how you create a relative xpath. Okay, now one more thing, when you create this relative xpath, make sure that you make that with single quotation. Okay, make this one single quotation, it will still work. Okay, here double quotation or single quotation, it doesn't matter, it will work. It will help you. Why? Because when you have single quotation, select all of these your xpath and copy it, go back to your code. Let's say that this is my xpath. I'm just removing this. Once you're pasting it, then you will not see any extra for backward slash here, and this will help you. And the reason is, when you have this backward slash and double quotation like this, and if you copy this and go back to your code, sorry, page, and paste it here, it will not work. To make it work, you have to remove this backward slash from here and from here, then it will work. So this is extra work. It's better and it's preferable if you use single quotation for the value. Okay, single quotation for the value like this, because when you copy this, the whole xpath, and if you paste it here, then you will not find anything. And again, when you copy this back and paste it again in your page, you will find it easily. Okay, so I didn't go over any new functionalities, like the important functionalities of the Selenium today, because I thought of like this xpath is very important, and sometime in some interview they might ask you, okay, so open this google.com, and type xpath for this Google search button. They might ask you. So how you'll do that? Right click on this Google search, click on the inspect. So they will not ask you to write a xpath, like absolute xpath. They were looking that are you able to create relative xpath or not. Okay, and that's why they will ask you to do that. Okay, so let me get this one. So this is input. So once you are here, use Ctrl+F. Sorry. Once you are here, do the Ctrl+F, then you'll see this extra search bar. Then you see that I have class this one, name, button K, then role button. I have a different things, right? So let's try to create an xpath for this. 2/ tag name. Can you tell me what is the tag name here?
Input.
Input. So after the input, we have to use array bracket, and inside the array bracket, first of all, I have to provide a @ sign. Then we have to get the attribute. So what will be the attribute for that? Tell me any
We can take value.
value. Okay, let's try with the value. So value equals to single quotation. Inside the single quotation, I will copy this value and paste it here. It says 1 of 2. I cannot use that. If it is a 1 of 2, I cannot use that. Anyone else? Which attribute I should select here? Any other attribute? You said value. So I tried with value on it. So if you have any other suggestion,
We can take name, we can
name,
try.
Yeah, I think it will be like a name.
name. Okay, let's try with the name. Copy this value of the name, paste it here, and this value should be name.
If
It's
name
also
if name don't work, then we have to take the class name.
okay. Let's take the class name. This is also one of two. Then
There is a type also.
there is a type also. That is also right. Where is the type? There's the type submit. I believe this is also be the same. Let me check here. Oh, what I did that here. I have to type it again. Input at the rate type equals to. So the type is submit. I believe it will also. It's one of four. Any suggestion? Role. Okay, so let me try this area label. Oh, area labels because I just copied that area label. So area yes, label is one of two. And you say that role. I think role will be the same thing, like one of two. Role. Role is what kind of role is that? What is the role? Role is button. It's one of three. So we cannot use that. So we have to find out a way. So how we'll be able to get that. So this is all of the things that you can do. But in case if you're not able to do anything like that, there is one simple way you can use, like in this part, take this part out, type contains. Contains, if you remember, we did that in our list, like when we are trying to find something, we use that contains function. So it's the same thing. Contains function inside the after the contains, put a parenthesis, inside the parenthesis type text, then again parenthesis, comma, and now type the value, what you are looking for, which text you are looking for. I'm looking for this Google search, this text, Google search. Ah, oh, contains static, no, Google search. My typing is right. Typing is right, but it's not showing. Okay. But this is the another way. This is
Don't
we
we
call
have to put the input?
no, we don't need to put the input. So let me show you that what I'm showing. Contains text xpath, text xpath. This is the one. So contains text xpath. And the solution is this. The solution is same that I typed, right? The same thing. Is still, let me just copy that and paste it. In case if I am making any mistake.
Is that Google do not want us to find their XPath? They lock or something?
Any application, any company that will you not be able to get that XPath or find the element directly. They will not allow you to do that. Otherwise, you will be able to create a lot of users just using that automation script, right? So that the things that I don't like to do that. So let me just copy paste it here, and instead of this ABC, okay, so why is that? Okay, now instead of ABC, it should be Google search. Why it's not working? But it's fine if it is not working, and if you show them then that how to write this kind of XPath, then they will understand it. Okay, even though if you are not able to file it, but they will understand that you know the concept. Okay. Okay, so this is another one. This is called dynamic XPath, so you can use that also. But this is about that XPath, absolute XPath and relative XPath. Okay, and make sure that you do a lot of practice on XPath. Sorry, not absolute, but relative XPath. You will definitely like there is like 50-50 chance like you will get a question from XPath, and they might ask you to write a XPath of any specific button or a specific text. Okay, so they might ask you. So it's better if you do some practice on that. Okay, anything else? Anything that you didn't understand today? Okay, so do a lot of practice, and also I will give you like homeworks. Please do this homework, because if you don't do this homework, then it will be very difficult to you to move forward. Like next week, I was thinking to go and start with framework, but this expert took some extra time. These locators, which is very important, is take extra time. So that's why we are not moving to that new topic. We will do that in next session. Next session will be very important. Next two sessions will be basically will cover most of the interview questions. Okay. Okay. So can you please send the codes again? So I will send the code, and you will also get this code from GitHub. Could you please share expert in chat box? So you are talking about this one, right? So let me just copy that. I'll share this expert first, and I'll share the whole code that I had in my class from beginning. But I will prefer not just copy and paste and watch it's working. Okay, don't do that. If you are doing it, that's mean that you are not practicing it, and you will be in trouble. Okay, so don't do it. And you can also get this code from GitHub. I will just upload this code after this session. Okay, so summary is we have locators. We have 8 locators. Remember this, we have 8 locators. This is also important question, interview question. 8 locators, and you have to give a name of all of the locators. Okay, class name, name, ID, link text, partial. Okay, I can type it separately. This is fine. Partial link text. Then I have one more, that is tag name. We didn't see that tag name yet. And how many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2, we have a CSS selector. We're not going to use that CSS selector. And then last one we have xpath. In xpath, we have two kind of xpath: absolute xpath and relative xpath. Make sure that you understood both of the xpath, because you will get a question on that. Okay, this is the summary of our today's session. And the thing that flow I showed you, that how you will approach to do any work, like to complete any scenario. So you have to understand that, because I will give you some task and you have to complete that. Okay. Okay, so if you don't have any question, we're done for today. Let me know if you have any question. In the meantime, let me upload this code. Oh, this one. Yes, thank you. Good night.
Will you please check my Eclipse? I got error under thread sleep.
Okay. So you have to mouse over, then it will ask you to what is add throws declaration, right? Did you
Yeah,
get
it's
two
for
options?
declaration.
Yes, just select the first one. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, walaikum salam and good night.
So absolute xpath have to start from the beginning of class until find out our element.
Beginning tag.
Start
Beginning tag, which is from HTML.
beginning tag of the class until find out element, right?
Yes, that is one.
So in relative parts, like start with doubles, /, then tag name and array bracket,
Yes,
then add
that's right. So array bracket, then at the rate sign, then attribute
yeah.
name. So before the value, whatever you see, that is called attribute, and then the value. That's it. And if you keep that value in a single quotation, that will be better. So let me make that a single quotation. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So today is 12:15. Okay, thank you all. So I'm closing the session now.